Good afternoon and morning, everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast here by Agent Weather Forecast. This is going to be another update on this extremely heavy rain and also very strong winds out here into the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. This is actually a major topic. We're seeing already flood watches, flood warnings, and flood advisories. We've seen reported flooded roads throughout Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware. Not only that, but we're also going to be seeing possibly close to hurricane force gust winds here, areas in Delaware, New Jersey, much of the Northeast and Mid Atlantic. We'll be seeing 40 plus mile per hour wind gusts. So we're going to be seeing tropical storm force winds gusts in many of these areas with the saturated soils. That's going to possibly cause power outages, uprooted trees, and a lot more damage in these areas. So please watch the video if you want to get as much data. We're going to be looking at a new update on the National Weather Service. We're going to be looking at the severe weather threat potential as well, because we're also going to be seeing possibly QLCSs and squall lines in the areas, so which is going to bring in that bigger threat for downpours, which is going to cause that bigger threat for flooding. So if you are new, be sure to subscribe. We are 2 subscribers away from 2,210 subscribers. So hit that big subscribe button there for daily weather content. I will have another weather forecast out later this afternoon on a huge heat front for parts of the South Central. Also, be sure to share the channel to any friends or family. Both without further ado, let's get in this video. So here we're taking a look at the National Weather Service, where we have this area focused right here in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. We have coastal flood warnings, we have flood watches, we have flood advisories, flood warnings. Of course, we have many areas out here where we have also rivers, lakes that's definitely going to overflow. And we now have high wind warnings here out here for New Jersey and Delaware, and even parts of even out there. We have wind advisories throughout areas near Maryland, Pennsylvania, and even including New York. So these high wind warnings, that's going to be including areas like Philadelphia, Atlantic City, and all of Delaware. So all of Delaware, I knew Delaware is definitely going to get hit the hardest by these winds, because we're going to be seeing the flow literally heading right into the right onto the Atlantic coast. So we're going to be possibly seeing 50 to 65 mile per hour wind gusts in these areas in the high wind warnings, and areas into the wind advisories like Allentown, Reading, Newark, Salisbury. That's where we're going to be possibly seeing maybe 35 to maybe 50 mile per hour wind gusts again. We're still seeing saturated soil in these areas. As you can tell, we have flood warnings right just south of these high wind warnings right here. That is not going to be good whatsoever. Washington D.C. as well under a flood warning, and then we have also including coastal flood warnings as well, areas into Maryland, Virginia, and also we have flood watches across many of these areas for millions out here into the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. Let's go ahead and check that out here, all the way from New York down into the areas of North Carolina, where we have these flood-related alerts. So that's including much of areas like Richmond, Baltimore, including State College, Allentown, areas near Utica, even New York City, and even those areas that aren't in the wind alerts. You guys are still going to be seeing very strong winds, very widespread, all the way to Ohio, North Carolina, even all the way to Maine. So as you can tell, we're definitely going to be seeing very heavy rain in these areas. Just absolutely crazy the amount of rain we're going to be seeing. Just look at that. Absolutely crazy, all of this rain here that's going to be moving these areas. So here we're going to be seeing these strong winds. So we're going to be seeing really heavy rain and flooding with areas that are going to be seeing around 60 mile per hour wind gusts, which is absolutely crazy. That is an open window for power outages, uprooted trees, definitely be seeing a lot of debris, and we're going to be seeing a potential squall line potentially forming out here in Maryland, parts of North Carolina and Virginia. We are seeing that heavier rain, and these are going to be more of a wind gust storm. So we're going to be seeing these storms, actually they're going to be moving at a pretty fast. They're going to be starting intensifying and moving at a bit of a faster pace later today, with these winds really pushing it there. But as you can tell, seeing very widespread heavy rain, and it's going to get a lot more widespread later today, and even tomorrow we'll be seeing some potential very strong winds and also flooding threats for the New England area. So we've already had around 1 to 3 inches of rain so far today in these areas. We can be seeing another 5 inches for some of these areas. So severe weather threats very low today. We only have a marginal. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't extend its marginal for areas in Pennsylvania and Maryland. We are going to be seeing very potential strong squall line, even Delaware. But as of right now, only have a marginal. That's going to be for North Carolina, areas in Virginia, far southern Maryland, and even all into the Myrtle Beach area. That's what we're seeing a marginal risk. We'll be seeing some really strong severe weather. Mainly wind gusts is their biggest threat tornado threat is very low. That's going to be more for the Virginia area and North Carolina, where we have our highest tornado risk. Hail threats also, we're not going to really have a hail threat whatsoever here. This is not going to be a hail. Again, this is not like a severe weather outbreak. We're going to be seeing tornadoes, hail, and all that. This is more of a wind threat. The wind threat is going to be absolutely crazy. This is exactly why we have high wind warnings in these areas, because we're going to be seeing very, very strong winds. It's definitely caused a lot of issues. Can you imagine flooding with uprooted trees, power outages? This is going to be a very, very nasty upcoming weekend for these areas. Let's see if this wind, day one wind, would actually reload here as we do wait for this to actually refresh. So I'm actually just had to disagree with the SPC outlook, because they only have a 2% chance here for wind threats out here. That's absolutely crazy, but it's possibly just because it's not the thunderstorm related strong winds. It's just coming from that low level jet. And here you have these isobars. You can really see the surface low right here off Michigan, and here you have these isobars very, very close, going right out here into the areas of the mid-Atlantic. And actually, we're going to be seeing the strongest winds down near New Jersey, Delaware, and also Maryland. Look at those isobars, incredibly close to each other. So here we have this huge linear line of very powerful bands stretching all the way from Ontario all the way up into areas near South Carolina. We're going to be seeing this heaviest rain near Raleigh, moving out of Winston-Salem. It's going to be heading towards now Kitty Hawk and those coastal areas of North Carolina. As we get later today, we're going to be seeing that potential threat for squall lines. That's where we have that potential squall line now moving throughout Pennsylvania, Virginia, and North Carolina, even going to head towards the areas of Delaware. So here we have the potential squall line all the way up from New York to North Carolina. And look, these isobars are incredibly close, and that's going to be heading straight towards New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, even Virginia. So we're possibly see our strongest winds for New Jersey and Delaware will be getting hit the hardest. That's exactly why we have those high wind warnings. But here we also have that flash flooding threat. So high winds and flash flooding seems to be the primary threats there as we continue throughout Maryland, Virginia Beach, areas near Richmond, as well, moving throughout State College, Greencastle, heading towards Allentown. And here we have that huge major squall line going straight through Dover, heading towards areas near Kitty Hawk, Virginia Beach. Also continue to see that very strong rain band or severe weather band throughout areas heading towards Allentown, the Poconos, heading towards Philadelphia, even out there near Syracuse and Rochester. And like I said, tomorrow we'll also have that really heavy rain threat as well, but the winds will continue now to move eastward with this band, so that's possibly see maybe some more widespread wind advisories and high wind warnings now for Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. Definitely be seeing another flooding threat there for Providence, areas near Newport, areas as well near the Hartford area and Boston. That's going to be a threat for mainly tomorrow there. Now as we get to the HRRR model, this is going to be showing you in details, great details, this potential major squall line. So here you have these rains all the way from areas near Newport, Greenville, even Raleigh, all the way up into the Buffalo areas and even State College, seeing this really heavy rain. I think so the severe weather threat's more of a North Carolina threat as of right now, seeing the heaviest rain there. But as we do continue on later today, this really heavy rain will continue to strengthen and become a lot more widespread. Now Syracuse, Rochester, Elmira, you guys are definitely going to get hit extremely hard with heavy rain. Again, Syracuse, even the areas near Utica, you guys start to get hit later today. Seeing this very strong squalling going past the Kitty Hawk area, Newport, heading here to Norfolk, Washington, D.C. You guys can get some really fast-moving bands that could be bringing some really strong downpours, and then also seeing those downpours likely out there into central Pennsylvania, moving throughout New York, and then we have very heavy rain going straight over New York City by Friday or by tomorrow morning, areas near Albany, and that does head out down to the Hartford area by later into Friday morning. Again, they won't be as severe tomorrow, but winds will still continue to be a threat. So now we have the winds threat. So maximum sustained winds are now going to be, these are wind gusts. So maximum wind gusts will be around 65 mile per hour wind. So here you see it heading straight towards the New Jersey area, Delaware. You can just see how strong these winds are. And you're going to be seeing also these straight line of winds as well, moving throughout Ohio and Kentucky, moving also into the exact same areas. So wind shear is going to be very, very strong here with this low level jet. You're going to kind of see like dip like that. You're going to see that low level jet. And we're going to be seeing the strongest winds out off into the Atlantic to the northeast as well. So we're going to be seeing very powerful winds out there in New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland. Like I said earlier, it's not just areas where we have these high wind warnings and even wind advisories. Areas into New York, near Rochester, areas to upstate New York near the Adirondacks. Some areas are seeing 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and they're not under an alert. So as you can tell, it doesn't exactly mean if you're not on alert, you're not going to get hit really hard. We're still seeing very widespread winds with these. The wind shear is absolutely crazy here. Areas near Dover, 49 mile per hour wind gusts. New York City, 53 mile per hour wind gusts. Rochester and areas near Syracuse around 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And as we get now later into today, these wind gusts get a lot worse, believe it or not. Now we're going to be seeing up to 70 mile per hour wind gusts here. That's going to be for Delaware. It's going to get hit the hardest here. Dover around 58 mile per hour wind gusts. You guys definitely, you don't have to take cover because of tornadoes, but you definitely don't want to be outside because trees can fall at any moment in these winds, and also you don't want to be outside because it's very heavy rain as well and potential squall lines. So that is not going to help the situation. Areas into now Long Island, 58 knots. Areas into eastern Pennsylvania around ranging from 50 to 60 knots. Here in the Adirondacks getting up to 68 knots, and these winds continue to move eastward. So you're now going to see these arrows heading now towards the Long Island area and into the New England area as we get into tomorrow. And there you see those arrows move. Now areas into New York City. You guys can be seeing maybe windier conditions tomorrow morning. 61 knots. We're going to be seeing a maximum sustained wind of 70.2 mile per hour winds. That's going to be for the Canada area, but areas in those higher elevations in the Adirondacks, areas near Burlington, as well into the New Hampshire areas, we'll be seeing 46 knots, and that's going to bring in around 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts out there into the Newport area and also into far eastern Massachusetts. Now we're going to be seeing exactly how much rain we'll be seeing left to come with these winds still strengthening. And look at this. This is absolutely crazy. This is not going to be good whatsoever. Even with saturated soils where you haven't seen rain in 2 to 3 days, if you still have 70 knots or up to 60 knots in these areas, you still have to worry about it. But now that you're seeing the rain happening with these winds, that's absolutely crazy, and an open window for power outages. Millions will be without power if you don't have a generator throughout. Delaware might get hit the hardest, maybe for power outages as well. New Jersey with the higher populations, and then even Pennsylvania, even New York, even Connecticut and Maryland. You guys can have power outages, and we're going to be seeing our maximum amount of rain going to be for eastern Pennsylvania and southern New York. We'll be seeing up to 5.1 inches left of rain, which is absolutely crazy, not only because of winds, but in general at this time of the year, seeing 5 inches of rain from one system is really not rare, but does not happen every single time rain is moved through these areas. And that's going to continue to see this rain all the way from Virginia to Maine. As you see, the rain does become a little bit less of a threat for the New England areas like Maine and New Hampshire and Vermont, but definitely Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, New Jersey, Connecticut, New York. You guys definitely need to watch out as you're going to be seeing a ton of rain. Now let's actually see how many power outages we actually have right now. So as you see, we only have really minor power outages as of right now, but this is because it just started. As you see already, Pennsylvania and New York are already on the top of the list here, with New York already at 12,000 power outages. Here we have this area of focus. Delaware is definitely get on this list right here. Delaware for sure, Virginia for sure, New Jersey for sure, and even Connecticut for sure. But Pennsylvania, let's go ahead and check out Pennsylvania as well. Pennsylvania is only really within 100 away from New York from being the top on the list. So as you see, it's more of a northeastern part where we have those higher elevations. We're going to be seeing around 1,000 out in Wyoming County, 643 out in Susquehanna, I don't know how to pronounce that. And then areas where we have a 900 out Lycoming County, 2,000 out in Berks County, and up to areas 1,200 out in Beaver County there. And then, of course, in New York, we're also seeing that very widespread threat. That's going to be more of a kind of near the border, or not border, but just like in general, southern New York. That's where we'll also be seeing these very strong winds. And later today, you'll see these wind reports or these power outages coming out here now near New York City, not New Brunswick, New Rochelle. Here we have already around 1,200 in Madison County. Also seeing around 1,000 in Tompkins County, and then around 236 out of Hamilton County, and around 1,300 out Oswego County. That's where the area where Rochester is. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So here we again had that huge areas of straight line winds. Later today, we definitely see a squall line in the QLC as possible to form. It's very likely. Here we have flood warnings and flood advisories. Williamsport, of course, Harrisburg. We definitely have a very big potential for very strong winds, of course, and the flooding threat is absolutely just skyrocketing as we continue here. But I'm going to be monitoring this very closely, and if I have to, I will post on this tomorrow, but very unlikely because by tomorrow it will be mostly a kind of coastal Massachusetts and Connecticut area, but this is more of an inland threat today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye guys.